in-home nurses and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like she did qualify for having a nurse. There just wasn't any available. You know? So we just kind of had to put our whole life on hold, take a step back, and step up to the kids, and just do it.
And that led you. You're a blue collar guy.
Yeah.
You had your own business that you had built from the ground up.
Yep.
You walked away from the business.
Yeah, man. That's probably the hardest thing. I mean, other than going through what I went through with Lucy, but this was back to back, man. We got home in July. In August, I was moving all my stuff out of my shop. All the stuff I took all this time buying, building, making, to do. I would like to say that I was kind of in zombie, just like survival mode. You know what I mean? Still at that point. So it really didn't hit me until I moved all the way out.
Yeah.
I moved out of it.
That's tough, man.
Yeah,
like that's almost like another child.
It is.
Your business.
Yeah. I used to complain about the business, how it was running my life, and it was tough, and like couldn't find good help and all that stuff. And it wasn't nothing compared to this, dude. Like I tell everybody all the time, I'm not built for this shit. Like I'm not built for the stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
That's not me, but I'm built for survival.
But it is you.
And protecting and for my family. It's a different kind of providing. I was providing, more financially and building something before. Now I'm just, providing a different way for the family, I guess, which is a hard pill to swallow for me, and took me a long time to accept that.
Sure.
But once I did, like it did take a little weight off my shoulders.
Other than, of course, seeing your daughter and seeing your wife go through all that, do you think that that's probably the hardest challenge that you had to face through all this?
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just because, like, I went to school for that stuff. I started out at the bottom, working at shops, working at the dealership, doing the nights and weekends, doing the side work to build this up. And when I had my shop, I was always quality over quantity. And I felt bad for my customers. You know what I mean? There are, qualified shops around the area that they could go to, but I took a lot of pride in my work, man. You know what I mean? And people noticed it. You know, it didn't go unnoticed, and that's what kept me driving, pushing, going, you know, in it.
And again, folks, this was just last June.
Yeah, man.
Like this probably for you, it probably feels like a lifetime.
It does, man.
This has been going on for years.
Yeah,
this is only. I mean, we're filming right now in the beginning of August of 2025, and this happened June 15th, 2024.
Yeah, that's when it
was
all
her
started,
birthday.
man.
Was her birthday. And
it's the start of the shit show nobody wants to take it to.
Oh my God! Right? Jeez. Yeah. So, you did mention you've had a lot of support with your friends.
Yep.
But before we get to that part, which is a huge part, you and your wife have had to communicate, be on the same page. I'm sure it wasn't always pleasant.
Usually,
I mean, you have your own feelings.
Yeah.
She has her own feelings.
Yeah.
You have to worry about her. Exactly. She's worried about you.
Yeah, man.
Talk about the dynamic in the beginning, but then how have you guys kind of improved the relationship that you now have?
Yep.
I'm assuming, just from what I've watched and what I've listened to and doing my homework. I mean, that's certainly been a huge challenge for you guys.
Bro, it's a struggle, man. We are very alike but very different. So sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. I think for a long time, and I'm talking months, not weeks or whatever, we were literally zombies. We were just day to day, try to just get through the day, figure out what's going on, figure out what we need to do. We struggled, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I mean, the camera sometimes might show different, when you see the pictures and all that stuff. It was a big adjustment for my wife, because we're both the same in that we're all in. Whatever we do, it doesn't matter if it's taking out the trash or taking care of the girls. Yeah. We're all in. It's going to get done. It's going to get done right.
Right.
And to the best of our ability. So yeah, that's been a big struggle. And we tried, we have done therapy and stuff like that too. Like, I mean, I'm not scared to say anything, when it comes to stuff like that. Like my pride.
Now, being a man though, like, we as men find it very challenging at times to talk about our feelings and our emotions.
Yeah.
Was that a struggle for you in the beginning, or just because of this, you're just like, it.
Yeah, I
You know?
mean, you know, I had nothing to lose. You know what I mean? The only thing I had left to lose is my wife and my girls. You know what I mean?
And
Like
that's not
my
happening.
life.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like, you know, and we've been, you know, we've been through the struggle bus of that point where we're just like, I just don't know if this is working. You know, one of us has a bad day, or if we're both having a bad day, man, watch out. Stay clear. Stay a mile away. You know what I mean? Like, we're both struggling today. Let's
Right.
just, you know, kind of figure out separately what we need to do and think about what we're doing here. And get back to the roots, which is the girls, you know. And I've told my wife before when we've been having a serious conversation in the past, and I'm like, you know, I know we can work through this. I know it's tough right now, but no matter what happens with us, our girls are going to have the best chance of being raised, and Lucy's going to have the best quality of life if we're together.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind, you know, because even if we have differences on how we want to do things or how we think, when it comes down to the girls, we're just no bullshit. You know, it's going to be the best thing that's for them.
So, how long after you've taken this tragedy that you're still going through?
Yeah.
I mean, you said what, about 3 days a week you're still going up to Delaware and all
minimum.
that stuff.
Yep.
Minimum. But now you've taken this whole experience, flipped it on its side, and you've started a group, the Dads of Little Warriors.
Yep.
You have a podcast, which I found you on and have watched several episodes.
Awesome, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. You've taken something that is so tragic and so horrible, and you've turned it and made this into something that can impact men and women, moms, dads, which is also ultimately going to impact families too.
Exactly.
Yeah. What made you decide to? It takes a huge mindset to do that.
Yeah, so this was actually really easy. We were in the NICU. We were going through it. She was in that 72-hour process, and I'm like, dude, I was on the struggle bus. You know what I mean? Like, I was like mentally just not okay. You know what I mean? And I'm like, where are people at? Like, we had, you know, people come in from the hospital, and they were talking about, you know, somebody we could talk to and therapist, but then I'd have been outpatient because, you know, and like, you know, I'm just like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm staying here. So I had nobody, you know, I had friends and stuff checking on me, but you know how it is, man. You don't want to step on people's toes. I can respect that.
Right.
I had a lot of close friends that were like, hey, man, I'm here if you need me. If you need to yell at me, scream at me, whatever, like, just call me or let me know. I'll come up here and we can, you know, walk outside.
Right.
So when we were in the NICU, I looked at my wife and I was like, there's nobody. So guess what? When we get out of here, no matter which way this goes, she comes home with us. She doesn't. She stays in here. She passes. I'm like, I'm starting something. You know, I'm doing something for the dads.
Yeah.
Because there's all this stuff. Moms are quick to jump together and do all this stuff. And guys are so scared to like talk about their feelings or like even like wear something that seems like kind of like dad thing or whatever. You know, I'm like, I got to do something with it. You know, like I had this dream, you know, of like, I know I needed help, and if I can't find it, nobody else can. So let me do it.
And you know, you got the podcast.
Yep.
You're on TikTok.
Yeah.
We are too, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, it's entertaining.
It is.
But just a great way to deliver meaningful content.
Yep.
You have a website now. You have a merch line, which if you're watching this on YouTube, you can check it out.
Yeah, man, got you decked out today.
I got my T-shirt and my hat. Yes,
You
sir.
earned that.
Yes,
You earned
sir.
it.
No, you're almost growing a movement here. You're in the beginning stages. This could very well help a lot of people.
And that's what it is. I was telling you before we start the podcast, like my healing, like I don't have the money for therapy. I don't have the money to pay out of pocket. I don't have the insurance to go to these therapists and stuff like that. So when I make this stuff, like it literally helps me. I'm like, dude, I'm pressing a hat and I'm like, this dad's going to rock this shit.
Yeah.
You know, like this dad is going to be wearing the brand that actually stands for something. And that's like something I started kind of pushing a little bit, like wear something that means something. You know, like it's not $1 million. It's not about the money or anything like that, even though it would help my family, you know, financially, you know, a lot. Because, you know, right now we're down to one income. And like I said, Sam's just as invested in her girls as I am, if not more.
Sure.
And I'm putting my all into it.
Yeah.
And she's still trying to provide for the family.
She's still bringing in new clients with photography and all that stuff.
You know, so man, it's been a struggle. And like, that's what I would love to see is like, you know, you can go anywhere and you can get on TikTok and you can buy buy like, whatever kind of shirt or hat or whatever. But like, man, this stuff actually, it's, it's made in the office upstairs where my wife's computer is, my computer is. Like, it's homemade.
You can customize. Like, we got the patches on the hat, and there's different emblems that you can put on the hat.
And honestly, it was my out. You know what I mean? Like, I had so much all the time with my shop, man. I was running the office. I was working in the shop. I was talking to customers. I was doing just about everything. I had some part-time help here and there towards the end, that kind of took a little load off of me. But I was so busy, I didn't have time to really think about that stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I shut that down, I'm like, man, like, I gotta do something with my time. And I filmed my first podcast, dude. It was probably like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I'm sure you watched it. I'm probably like,
I did.
You could probably barely understand me.
But you know what's cool? I watched the first one, second one, third one, fourth one. But then I went back. I watched your most recent one and saw just the level of progression within your presentation and the intro.
Did you like this episode of the TMA Connection? Well, you might want to check this one out right here. Go ahead, click it.